Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and long time no see. It's been a little bit since I've done a video. I've just been super busy with school and the holidays and end of the year and all that stuff. But I'm back now and I wanted to do a book haul. I've been collecting these books for the past like 2-3 months. Not totally sure how long it's been, but it's been a while. And there have been like a ton of good book sales lately, so I have gone a little bit crazy. But I have been buying, honestly, a lot of books that I've already read, either just in special editions or just either if I read them on Kindle and then I want the physical copy now. So I have been buying kind of more books that I've already read instead of just buying new books to add to my TBR, and especially books that I absolutely love and I would consider my favorites. So this haul has been just kind of the result of that. And yeah, so let's just get straight into it because I do have a pretty good amount of books here. Alright. The first one is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I read the first one, which is One Dark Window, about a month or two ago. I can't remember exactly, but I really did like it. It's a very gothic, dark fantasy. It's more vibey, I would say, than plot heavy, at least in this one. You do obviously have to do world building and you're just meeting the characters. I do think the magic system in this was cool. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but I am really excited to read this one because I've heard really good things. So the first book that I've already read, and I just wanted to get a UK edition, which was Beach Read by Emily Henry. I read this in summer of this year, and I definitely want to reread it again this summer or next summer. So I wanted to get Beach Read by Emily Henry. I feel like most people know about that, but it's basically about two authors who kind of like help each other write each other's genres, and it's really cute. It's like kind of in between a literary fiction and a rom-com. I've heard people kind of describe it, so yeah. And then the next one is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I actually have no idea really what this is about. I do think there's like Asperger's, okay, so autism rep, and I don't really know anything more about that. I just have seen this cover a bunch on Instagram, you know, book talk and all that, so I figured I'd pick it up since it was pretty cheap, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so getting into the hardcovers, next is gonna be Babel by R.F. Kuang. I am really upset because it came like messed up, but I just haven't had the will to go to Target and like replace it, which I think it might be too late at this point, but I have heard such good things about this book. I really want to get to reading any of R.F. Kuang's book. I also have The Poppy War, which I have been really wanting to read, which is a fantasy. This one, I believe it's just historical fiction. I honestly am not totally sure. I know it's like set at Oxford and it's about like colonialism, something like that. Honestly, not totally sure, but that book kind of scares me, so we'll see when I actually get to it. Not totally sure. Okay. And then the next book is Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is, I guess, kind of like a spin-off of the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, which I liked. It's, again, not my favorite, but I think it was like a good series for what it was. And I just like liked it enough to be willing to pick up this one. I think I also heard Sarah Caroli say good things about this one, so I figured I would give it a try. And the cover is very pretty, so Throne of the Fallen. Although this book, it's pretty big, so it kind of puts me off from it. Okay, and then so the next book is Never by Jessa Hastings. I actually got to go to her book signing in LA, so this version is actually signed by her, so that's really cool. And I got to like meet up with people from Bookstagram, so that was really fun. And also, again, this is just, she always has the most beautiful covers. Yeah, I did actually end up reading this one already. It's definitely, again, not a favorite, but I actually did quite like it. First of all, if you didn't know, a lot of people, when this first came out, it was just like a very bad release. A ton of people had really negative things to say about just like the plot and just some of the like writing in it, and I don't know, I personally didn't have any issues with it. I think it helped that I knew like every single criticism before going in, so I kind of had really low expectations and knew exactly what to expect. Yeah, it's not exactly the Peter Pan that you think of from like the Disney movies, so if you do end up going into this, just kind of maybe look at some of the reviews just to kind of set your expectations in the right place. Okay, the next two I'll just do together because that is Divine Rivals, and then I just got Ruthless Vows, which came out I think literally yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't remember whenever I got it was. These are a young adult romance fantasy, and there's like a war going on. I did already read Divine Rivals. I read it on my Kindle a few months ago, and then I just wanted to get the physical copy, and since I did really like Divine Rivals, I wanted to get obviously the second one since it just came out. And yeah, so read Divine Rivals, haven't read Ruthless Vows, really excited to get to it soon, hopefully. Maybe I will add that into a reading vlog, I'm not totally sure. Yeah, really excited to pick this one up probably very soon. Also guys, I am probably gonna do do a organizing my bookshelf video literally right after I do this, since all of these books are going to be all over the place. So look forward to that coming So look forward to that coming soon. And then the next book is going to be Sarah J Maas's House of Sky and Breath, which actually is the hardcover version and the only reason I honestly got this book is because book 3, so Crescent City 3, comes out in the end of January, I believe. And so it's only coming out in hardcover, and I wanted to get the rest of the series to match. And yeah, I do have to get the first book in it still. I do have it paperback. I actually have 2 different paperbacks because I got the special edition, which I'll show in a sec. But yeah, it's just like so annoying when the publishing companies are doing that now, how they'll roll out series with multiple different editions. They're all like different sizes and you have to get them all then. And then, so continuing off that note, I did get the special editions for the Crescent Cities because they're just too pretty not to. And yeah, so I did already read these. I listened to the audiobooks, I think, for both of these, kind of going back and forth between reading and then listening. But yeah, I really like these. I am so excited for the third one. I highly recommend reading ACOTAR and probably Throne of Glass before these, but the cliffhanger that you get at the end of this book, if you know, you know. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it because it's quite a big one, but I'm so excited for Crescent City 3. Okay, so the next one, I did get the Iron Flame with the sprayed edges. Don't know if I'm going to pick this up really anytime soon. A lot of the reviews have been so... We'll see. And that's obviously the second book to Fourth Wing, which I feel like most people in the book world know about because that absolutely blew up. But anyways, so the next book is Belladonna, which is another, I believe, YA fantasy romance, I believe. I've heard this one's also kind of gothic or something like that. I've heard mixed things, some good, some bad, but I'm really interested to hopefully pick it up soon. I think the cover is like very cool and unique, so, you know, bonus points for that. So the next couple I'll do together also, since they're in the same series. So I got Kiss the Sky, Hothouse Flower, Addicted After All, and Fuel the Fire from the Addicted series, which I have actually read all of these already, and I really like them. I definitely prefer Hothouse Flower and Kiss the Sky over Fuel the Fire and Addicted After All. I think the series is starting to get a little bit repetitive towards the end, and since all of the couples are already together, it's just less exciting, I guess, to be reading some of them. I obviously still really love all the found family and all the characters, but I will say, like, the first couple books for each couple, or the first book for each couple, is definitely my favorite so far. Okay, and then getting into some more fantasy, we have Powerless, which this again also blew up, I feel like, in the book world. I absolutely loved it. I did tab it like the tiniest bit. I do feel like it's important to mention though how similar it is to Hunger Games and I think Red Queen, which I haven't read, but I've heard people say that. And yeah, just like the Hunger Games references in this honestly kind of threw me off since I had no idea about that before I went in. And it also is a little bit trope heavy, but I absolutely loved it. The tension and the couple in this are absolutely everything. And if you like a good YA romance fantasy, you definitely need to try this one. Okay, and then so another book that I got as just like a second special edition is the Shatter Me. And this is just the first one in it, but it has like the most beautiful gold foiling, and it also has like sprayed edges with the little paper cranes, and I just think it's so pretty. It also has a little bookmark in it. It was actually not that expensive since I got it in Paris, which I'm not even sure if that vlog will be up before or after I post this haul, so either check for that or stay tuned for that. I'm not sure, but since it was like a UK book, it actually wasn't too expensive for especially how pretty this is. This is not my favorite series ever, but I really did like the first 3 books in it quite a bit. Okay, so the next 2 I will also go over together. So that's going to be Binding 13 and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. Again, I did already read these 2 over summer, I think, so it's been a couple months, and I got the original editions of these. I believe that they've kind of changed or like edited some of them since I think those were self-published. I'm not totally sure, but I got these and I pre-ordered them, so they have like ombre spines, and I think it's really cool, and it'll be nice to see them all lined up eventually once the rest of the series comes out. This is about Johnny and Shannon. It's definitely a bit more of an emotional romance than like a rom-com or anything like that. There are a ton of deep topics in this, so like definitely check some trigger warnings because a lot of it is a lot. And yeah, I absolutely love these books. When I read them, I rated them 5 stars, but I don't think about them quite as much as some of my other ones. But I've kind of just been really wanting to reread them and kind of refresh my thoughts on them, so that may be coming soon. Honestly, I've just been in such a rereading mood lately. I don't know what it is, which has kind of spurred the whole getting special editions of books thing. I don't know why, but all I want to do is reread the books that I've already read and really liked, which is not great, obviously, for my TBR, but I feel like it's also still important to reread the books that you've already bought and read and loved and, you know, get good use out of them. But I don't know why, I just like literally want to reread all the books that I've read, so I feel like I'm gonna do a rereading video soon. And then, okay, so Barnes & Noble just had like another hardcover sale, and so again, special edition, I got the A Court of Thorns and Roses, like, special edition from Barnes & Noble, like I said. It's really pretty, honestly. Like, for how much it is, I don't necessarily think it's super worth it unless you get it on sale, but like, it's really pretty. All of the like pages have little designs on them. But yeah, A Court of Thorns and Roses, one of the most, you know, popular romance fantasy books, so I'm sure you guys have heard of it. And then so the next one is The Kingdom of the Feared, and this one, again, I'd already read before I actually bought it. I was waiting for it to come out in paperback. I bought it on my Kindle because it was only out in hardcover, and the rest of the series I have in paperback, so I bought it on my Kindle, read it on my Kindle. I have just been waiting for the paperback to come out of this, and this is also connected to the Throne of the Fallen, like I said, series by the same author, Carrie Maniscalco. Oh yeah, and then I don't know if I said this, but this is the last book in a trilogy, The Kingdom of the Wicked one, so yeah, just had to get it to kind of complete the series on my shelves, and not too much more to it than that. It wasn't my favorite series, like I said, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. Okay, so again, these next 3 are a series, so I'll just go over them together. I actually ended up getting the UK covers for Caraval trilogy, so it's Caraval, Legendary, and Finale. I do have the US editions, but while I was in France, I just wanted to get a bunch of UK covers for books that I absolutely love and, you know, can't get as easily here in the US. But yeah, so I got that. And then also when I was at like a used bookstore, they had a little mini one, which is like slightly smaller than the normal book size. It's not like super tiny, but it was only $1, and I saw it while I was reading the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, so I don't know, I just thought I had to get it and it was meant to be. And again, for $1, I was like, okay, so getting to the last of the books, I also got Wildfire. This one I actually have not read. This is the second book in the series. I think it's UCMH, something like that. UC, maybe, I don't know. I did read Icebreaker probably a year or so ago. Honestly, can't remember exactly when that was, but I really liked it. I know some people find it really cringy and over the top. I don't know, I enjoyed it. And I've heard pretty good things about this one. I don't think it's been as well received as Icebreaker, but I haven't heard anything bad or like terrible, so still really excited to pick this one up. Although honestly, it does kind of give me more of a summer vibe with the like sleepaway camp thing, so I'll probably end up reading it closer to summer. And then, so another book that I have not read, this is The Trial of the Sun Queen. I got this just because I've been in kind of a fantasy kick lately. It's been on the downward slope, I think. Not totally sure, you know, mood reading, it kind of just goes like this. But I was just like trying to get a bunch of different fantasy romance books that sounded interesting and had like decent reviews. So this one came up, and honestly, I don't really know too much about it. I think the cover is pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of the Inheritance games a little bit. But yeah, we'll see when I pick up this one. And then again, the next 2 I will just do together. So I did get the Magnolia Park's Long Way Home and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, which are the 2 newer books in the Magnolia Park's universe. Although these are the newer versions of the covers for them. I have the old ones literally right here. And I got these ones also signed by Jessica Hastings, which is really, really exciting, but I didn't take these ones. Just thought that would be too much. But yeah, so I have reread this one, currently making my way through rereading and then also listening to this one. But yeah, I think the new one comes out in February, so preparing for that and very, very excited. This is my absolute favorite series of all time, so I had to get the newer editions, of course. And then also a book that I've already read. This is The Ballad of Never After, but of course the UK cover. I actually don't have the physical one in the US edition either, just because it's always really hard to find the paperback for that one in stores for some reason, so I just haven't gotten it yet, and I've read it on my Kindle. But yeah, I absolutely love this series. This is definitely one of my top fantasy reads of the year, especially this book in particular. I definitely want to get the rest of them in the UK covers just because they are, I think, are so much prettier than the US ones. We'll get to that eventually. Clearly Honestly, I already have way too many books, so I'm trying to chill out a little bit. Okay, and then so next, I have not read this one. This is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I've only read Love Theoretically by her. I haven't read, you know, The Love Hypothesis or Love on the Brain or any of those. I really did like Love Theoretically. It was really cute. I really liked the MMC and I thought their relationship was very cute. I've heard pretty good things about this one and I am just like very excited to read another one of hers. I believe this is her first YA. Not totally sure about that, but I don't know. I think it's very cute. So I think that'll be fun to read. And then, so next, I actually have read this one. This is Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I feel like this is one of those books where it's very shocking while you're reading it, and it's definitely a lot of like shock value things, but low-key I kind of liked it, and I think the cover is just very cool looking, so I really wanted to get it, and it's actually like very nice. Like it's one of those really nice matte covers, so happy about that. And then the very last book on this list is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. I've heard pretty good things about this one. I feel like I haven't heard anything in a while, so hopefully people still like it. I haven't read anything from this author yet. I believe it is a rom-com, but I'm not totally sure. No idea what the plot is. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. I don't know what the plot is. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Sorry for my little break, but you know, school and finals was a lot. And then after that, I was just a little bit burnt out. So we'll be back now, hopefully like at least once a week, if I can keep that up with, again, school starting again. But I hope you guys like this video. I definitely have a lot more coming. And yeah, so that's gonna wrap this one up. And I will see you guys all in the next one. This is